Hello, welcome you all to my zoology class. I am Dr. Sartaj, and the topic that I am going to teach you today is gametogenesis. So, for the gametogenesis concerned, it is the process of formation of haploid gametes from diploid gonads. My dear students, it is the meiosis that plays important role in the formation of what we call gametes. So this gametogenesis is of two types. The first one is called spermatogenesis, and the second one is called oogenesis. The spermatogenesis is simply the formation of sperms. The formation of egg or ova is called oogenesis. This takes place within the ovaries. This we will discuss in this separate lecture. So in this lecture we will focus on spermatogenesis. So spermatogenesis can be defined as the process of the formation of haploid, microscopic and the functional sperms from diploid spermatogonia. For your kind information, the sperms are produced at the rate of 120 million per day. However, the production of a given sperm takes about 2 months and 10 days. This spermatogenesis occurs within the male gonads called testes. So each testes is formed of thousands of minute tubules called seminiferous tubules. Each seminiferous tubule is covered by a basement membrane, and it is aligned with germinal epithelium. The germinal epithelial cells are separated by tall cells called Story cells, since they provide nourishment to the developing sperms. Hence these cells are also called nursing cells. The whole process of spermatogenesis can be studied under two headings, under two stages. The first stage, that is the formation of spermatid. The second one, that is spermiogenesis. So let's move to the first stage, that is the formation of spermatid. The spermatid is formed from the epithelial cells of the seminiferous tubules. These cells of the germinal epithelium, which are destined to develop into sperm, are called primordial germ cells. This we have discussed in the previous lecture. There are three phases in the conversion of primordial germ cells into spermatid. They are maturation phase, growth phase, and the multiplication phase. Let's move to the first phase, that is the multiplication phase. In this phase, the primordial germ cells undergo repeated mitotic divisions, resulting in the formation of two types of cells, spermatogonia A and spermatogonia B. Spermatogonia A acts as stem cells. Spermatogonia B enter into the growth phase to form secondary spermatocytes. So the next phase, that is the growth phase. During this phase, the spermatogonium grows. It increases in volume. Now these cells are called primary spermatocytes. The formation of primary spermatocytes from the spermatogonium is called spermatocytogenesis. So what is spermatocytogenesis? In simple words, it is the formation of primary spermatocyte from the spermatogonium. The third phase, that is the maturation phase. During this phase, each cell divides by meiosis. Meiosis consists of two divisions. The first meiotic division produces two cells which are having haploid number of chromosomes. These cells are called secondary spermatocytes. In the second meiotic division, each secondary spermatocyte divides into two cells called spermatids. Thus, by meiosis, each primary spermatocyte, this primary spermatocyte is converted into four spermatids. Now the second process, that is spermiogenesis. The transformation of the spermatid into spermatozoon is called spermiogenesis. The spermatid is in the form of typical cell containing the nucleus, Golgi bodies, mitochondria, etc. During this transformation of spermatid into sperm undergoes certain changes. So what are these changes? We'll discuss it here. First, the nucleus decreases its size by losing water. The chromosomes become concentrated and are closely packed. Nucleus enlarges in size. Golgi bodies of spermatid form acrosome. So how is this acrosome formed? In an early spermatid, the Golgi bodies are in the form of vesicles and are arranged around a group of vacuoles. These small vacuoles fuse together to form large vacuole, what's called acroblast. Inside this acroblast, a dense body called proacrosomal granule is developed. This whole acroblast now spreads over the front part of the nucleus. The proacrosomal granule now enlarges to form acrosomal granule. The acroblast is now called acrosome. This forms the cap of the sperm. The acrosome and the nucleus together constitute the head of the sperm. The remaining of the Golgi bodies degenerate. Now, the proximal centriole, which plays important role in the cleavage of zygote, it lies at right angle to the distal centriole that occupies the posterior end of the nucleus. The distal centriole produces axial filament. Cytoplasm of the spermatid form thin layer around the different parts of the sperm. This is known as mencate, M-A-N-C-H-E-T-T-E, mencate, also called cytoplasmic droplet. Mitochondria called nimbus form spiral ring behind the neck around the distal centriole and the proximal part of the axonema. The plasma membrane extends to surround the acrosome, nucleus, middle piece, and the main portion of axial filament. Going to the next slide. Yes. Yes. Physiological ripening. The sperms undergo morphological differentiation in the seminiferous tubules of the testes. By this change, they attain the typical structure of a sperm, but they don't possess the ability to fertilize the egg. They attain the ability to fertilize the egg by the process what's called physiological ripening. For your kind information, in mammals, the physiological ripening of the sperm takes place in the epididymis while they pass through it. In frogs, the sperms undergo physiological ripening in the seminiferous tubules itself. Thank you. Thank you very much.